I have heard this one quote so many times, but I never really understood it. I never really respected it enough to implement it in my life. And I was thinking about what it takes to become successful and what it takes to become the man who can achieve that success. And I think it all boils down to, what are your actions? What are your habits? What are you doing on the day-to-day? And will that in 10 years compound into success? But then I stumbled across this one quote in the Bible, and it really unveiled everything to me. And I was reading the parable of the talents. And if people have read that, sick. And you'll know what I'm on about. But I'm going to read you a bit of it. The bit that really stuck out to me. He says, in the parable it says, "His Lord said unto him, Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord." He says, thou hast been faithful over a few things, so I will make you a ruler of many things. If you cannot have dominion, if you cannot take charge of the things you have now in the present, then you will never be able to get more in the future. Why? Because you can't be trusted with it. And you do not have the skill sets, the discipline to get it in the first place. Because you didn't level up from level 1. You didn't pass the first test, which was a little bit of it, a little bit of income. If you cannot be faithful, if you cannot have dominion and successfully take charge of your little bit of income, your minimum wage income, then why would you ever be able to handle millions of dollars? If you can't handle your time when you have the most free time, when you're young, you have no burdens, you don't have a wife, or kids, you don't have a full-time job, or perhaps you do. If you cannot have dominion, lead your own time on how you spend your time, if you're scrolling, if you're watching movies, if you're doing la-di-la, if you're sleeping in, if you cannot have dominion over your time when you have the most time available for you, how will you ever have dominion over your time when your time is such a scarcity? How are you going to allocate that appropriately? And if you think about your business, if you're aiming to let's get 50 clients paying me all 20k a year for this subscription service that I'm doing, if you cannot handle one customer who's paying you £500, one, you're never going to get the word of mouth to grow to more customers, but also you're not going to be trusted with 20k, and you don't have the skill set to get the 20k because you're still stuck on that very first level and you're not having dominion over it. You're not leading it properly. You're leading it half-heartedly. This goes on to another thing, is that if I think of me, and there's so many areas in my life that I am lacking in leadership over my own body, my own actions. If I'm trying to become that man who can, I keep saying that buzzword, the man who can. And if we go back to last week's YouTube video, when I was talking about being fully in, not letting anything distract me, this connects superbly with this quote. Being fully in, not letting anything distract you, becoming that man, the whole man, not being him for half an hour and then the next hour you're quitting out, scrolling on your phone, being him the whole time, just being him. I am him. You can not be him and not him, because that means you're half of him. You can't be him and someone who's slacking off. You're either him or you're a slacker. And it goes back. It says, you have been faithful over a few things, meaning that now there are a few things you have to have dominion over and leadership over in order for you to build that success and become the man fully. That's whether you're getting up on time, you're not scrolling, you're not watching TV while you eat, You're not getting distracted by the world. You're doing the steps necessary for the day. Whatever you've written down on your task for the day, you do that. You're not neglecting your family. You're not neglecting your relationships. You're not neglecting your health. You're not neglecting being a leader and a friend. You have to take charge of everything, even if they're not greatly substantial. Whether it's a number in your bank account of millions, whether it's 50 different people that want a meeting with you on Monday morning. If you cannot take charge when you have the least responsibility, the least money, the least pressure, then you're never gonna be able to survive on the battlefield when you have more pressure, when your income is higher, when you have more people who are demanding your time. And in all honesty, if you cannot conquer the first stages, then you're never gonna be able to get to the later stages. And it says there's more quotes in the Bible that I'm gonna hit on to. And the wonderful thing about the Bible is that it is pure wisdom. All of the self-help, all of the self-improvement ideas that I got are all in the Bible as well. So all of these podcasts that I'm listening to, they're talking about how to be a good businessman, how to become the man who can, even if they weren't from a Christian background, even if they didn't get it from the Bible, you can find all of it in the Bible. So that's one of the reasons why I started reading the Bible more, is because I saw this wisdom, the truth. Because it doesn't matter who says it, it is truth. It says here, so whatever you eat or drink or whatever you do it all for the glory of God, which means how you do anything is how you do everything. You have to put 100% in every single task you do it for the glory of God. Be faithful over the little things. That includes, how do you fold your clothes when you put them away? Have you even put your clothes away? Have you made your bed? Have you showered and made yourself presentable? When you lock in for that time of work, are you 100% eager? Are you 100% there? Are you 100% trying to get the best out of that hour? When you cook food, are you cooking it nice? And then are you cleaning your dishes after? Or do you have these things in place? How you do anything is how you do everything. If you're lazy in one area and super disciplined in other area, you've got your feet in a bucket of lava and you've got your foot in a bucket of water. The lava is you being lazy and the water is you being disciplined, but you're still gonna get burnt even if you're half disciplined. You got to be all in at one point, all in for the glory of God. Everything you do has to be done with absolute attention to detail. And that's basically the video. Is, can you be trusted? If you're asking for all these things, if you want to be a businessman, if you want to be a strong man, if you want to be financially free, if you want to be the best of the best, you've got to be able to handle those small things before things start getting big. You've got to turn up to training on time. You've got to, if you're a fighter, you've got to learn your fundamentals. Then you can add on to that and add on to that. But it all starts at the very beginning with the few things, and then you can push on to the bigger things. But if you cannot be trusted, don't expect more.